morning, hello everybody, hi guys, and it's me. Welcome back to my channel. And today I want to start by answering a question that I received quite some time back. Well, a few weeks back, I sent out a survey of sorts asking people what are the issues that they face when communicating, when giving presentations, when giving a public speech, and I got a few very interesting answers. And the most of the questions actually revolved around two things. The first was how to engage an audience and how to keep them interested and wanting to know more about what we're talking about. That's one. And the other one is, how do I gain confidence? Now, this is perhaps one of the biggest questions that plague a public speaker, because very often a lot of people find that they're not confident when they have to speak in public. So they resort to using notes and using presentations, PowerPoints, and reading off the PowerPoints and becoming totally boring. And when they're boring, it shows in the audience, because when you're boring, the audience gets bored, and they show that they get bored because you're boring. So we've got to break this cycle. So for today, I'm going to be talking about one thing, and this one thing actually has quite a wide range of applications, and there are a lot more things, a lot more components that are contained within this one single component. But today I'm going to be talking about speed. And you think, oh, speed, what sort of speed? Well, the speed in which you talk. Now you think to yourself, but doctor, is speed really? I have to think about speed. Well, yes, because in essence, the speed of your communication will determine how much the audience will follow. I'll give you an example. If I talk about something very fast, and it's too fast for the audience to capture, and they think, God, I don't understand. And when they don't understand, what happens? Their minds, their brains switch off, and they become disengaged. And a disengaged audience is disinterested. But you think to yourself that that's if I go fast, but what if I go really slow? And if I talk like this? Well, don't be ridiculous. You don't have to talk like a tortoise. You have to talk like yourself. But you have to modulate the speed and the intensity of your communication. I'm going to talk about 3 different ways in which you can do this. So, number 1 is slowing it down. What do I mean by slowing it down? I showed you how a turtle does it, and we don't want to be turtles. We want to be human beings. We want to be good communicators. But slowing down is actually the essence of being able to think and speak at the same time. Because when we speak normally, well, academics especially, when we speak, our brains, they process things at such a high speed, and our mouths are processing at another speed. So if there's a disconnect, then it becomes a problem, especially if English is not your first language and you're translating, or you're thinking in another language, processing, and you have to process in English. So there's one part going on that's going on here. And if we speak at such a high speed, there's a very big possibility that the processes here have not caught up with the mouth. So you're going like this, and suddenly you find, oh my God, well, your brain finds, oh my God, I've come to the end here, but this is still going on, and I don't know what to say. And when this happens, guess what? Guess what sounds come out of your mouth? You guessed it. And these are called fillers. The more fillers you have, the more indicative it is that you're speaking too fast for your brain to process. So how do you overcome this? Slow it down. But slow it down in a way that does not bore the audience. You slow it down in a way that gives you enough time to think, but at the same time become engaging enough. So for example, this speed, as compared to this speed, if you talk like this, now if you talk like this, there's a very big possibility that you don't know what you're going to be talking about next, and it gets very, very difficult. So you've got to tone it down. You've got to think of what you want to say, and then you say it properly. So that's bringing the speed down. Now, let's go the exact opposite. What's the opposite? Well, speeding things up. But you think, oh my God, but you just said don't speed things up. Hang on. We can speed things up, but only if it serves our narrative. So, if I wanted to portray a hectic day that I had, I wouldn't say something like, oh, this morning I woke up and then I drove to the office, and then after that I had to go and make a report, and then I had to see my boss, and then I had to do this. It becomes so very boring. Whereas the effect that I wanted was actually to tell people how busy I am. And to do that, what I should do is I should ramp up the speed. So what you will get is something like this. You know, in today's hectic lifestyles, we do not have enough time to do what we need to do to be able to take things easy, for us to survive, because this is slowly killing us. You think, what's killing us? Well, this. You wake up in the morning, and then after that you brush your teeth, and then you think about, oh my God, what do I have to do next? And you've got to plan your day. Then you've got to drive to the office. So when you drive to the office, you've got to give the presentation, and then you've got to report to your boss, and you've got to do this, and you've got to do that, and then you've got to go home, and then you've got to pick up the kids, and then you've still got stuff to do. And you see what I did there? I used the speed to give the effect of hurriedness, to give the effect of urgency. And it's such a big difference to how I'm speaking right now, because right now I am actually using speed to enunciate the points very, very clearly. And for the big finale of today's lesson, how to use pauses. You think to yourself, what? Pause? Do I need to pause in my presentations? Do I need to pause in my speech? And I would say, yes, you do. I'll give you an example. If I say something like this, ladies and gentlemen, what we need to do today is we need to come together because we are in grave danger right now. Versus, ladies and gentlemen, we need to come together today because we are in grave danger right now. See the difference? And it wasn't too much of a difference because I did them both in a very, very, very excitable way. But you can see that when you inject pauses, you will in effect make the people hold on to their seats, holding their breath, just waiting for you to tell them what's going to happen next. That's it, ladies and gentlemen, for today's lesson. So just those 3 small elements that can make such a big difference in your communication, in your speeches, in your presentation. What are they? Speed in terms of voice modulation. Now, I'm going to cover a lot more in voice modulation, because in voice modulation, you have bringing the voice down. You've got bringing the voice up. You've got explosions, you've got silence, you've got pauses. So this is all going to be covered in voice modulation. For now, 3 things: slowing down your speed, making your speed go fast, and pausing. That's it for today. I hope you learned something. I'll see you next time.